What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bulletproof Business. This is James P. Friel. I'm glad that you're here with me today. And so today I want to give you a message that is three parts about how to really navigate the current situation that we find ourselves in, right? There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of, is my business going to be here tomorrow? Are my customers going to be here tomorrow? Like, what am I doing? And so I wanted to share with you guys a framework that is something that I'd like you to put into practice to help you stay ahead of everything. And at the end, talk about like some of the extraordinary opportunities that are really being created by this entire situation. And so I call this the evaluate, stabilize, disrupt framework. And we'll start at the beginning, which just seems like a good place to start. So the very, very first thing that you should be doing in your business right now is evaluating your current situation. And this is likely something that you're going to need to keep doing, right? You don't just evaluate your situation once. You want to make sure that you're staying on top of things on an ongoing basis. And what do I mean by evaluate? So there's a lot of fear and uncertainty and anxiety and worry and all these different things that are happening to a lot of different people right now. And it's understandable because nobody knows, exactly how long this is going to last. They don't know, what the, severity of the problems are going to be for their business. And so there's a lot of fear and uncertainty. But the trouble is when we make business decisions from an emotional perspective, and a reactive perspective, we're probably not being as clear-headed as we need to be, and we need to be extra clear-headed in a time of crisis. And so when I'm asking you to evaluate your business, what I'm asking you to do is to actually say, okay, what products and offers do we have? Are they still selling? How are they selling? What kinds of things are we seeing in our market, right? The challenge here is that what's being reported on the news is not necessarily representative of all the different verticals that every one of you are in as a business. And for example, I've spoken with two people today who in the last 2 weeks, their business has totally crushed it, more so than it had been in the previous, months before. Okay, so this is not impacting everyone equally. And so if I were one of those people and I was like, you know what, crap, like I got to start, laying people off and I got to start doing this out of reaction to what's going on, then that means I haven't done the job that I need to do as a CEO and as a business owner of properly evaluating my situation, my market, my customers, my products, my sales, my profits, all of those things. So the very, very first thing that I'm asking you to do is to evaluate your situation. Okay. Turn off the news. It'll still be there if you want to turn it back on later, which I'm kind of hoping that you don't, because it just breeds a lot of anxiety and things like that. But if you want to, it'll be there later. Turn it off for now and evaluate your current situation. What are your ad costs doing? I was just reading another article how Facebook's revenue from ads is going down, which means there's less and less advertisers on the platform. So if you're still on the platform and you're still advertising, you're probably going to notice a decrease in ad cost to a certain extent, potentially, right? But what you need to do is you need to evaluate your situation and where you are, not worry about what everything else is happening while you're doing that evaluation, okay? So that's the first thing. And what you want to come out of that with is, what do I need to be concerned about? Do I need to, be cutting certain things out that I would ordinarily be doing? Do I need to consider reinventing? Do I need to pivot? Do I need to do all these different things? You're going to need to come from a place of stability, and that only comes from doing a level-headed, logical, unemotional evaluation of your current position right now. And you're going to need to continue to reevaluate your position as this thing unfolds and as everything happens. You should have a very, very close pulse on all of the important numbers inside of your business, what your customers are doing, what things are happening in your market not necessarily just the world as a whole. Okay, so that's number one, evaluate. Number two, if after your evaluation you find that there are losses, you are getting hit hard by this situation, then you're going to want to take action to stabilize. Okay, so the second thing that you need to do after you evaluate is, what do we need to do to stabilize? And that should be the name of the game, right? There's going to be opportunities, which we're going to talk about next. But the second thing we want to do after we evaluate is, what do we need to do to stabilize? Okay, what new offers can we create? What conversations can we have with current customers, past prospects, like all the people that we never followed up with? What can we do to stabilize the business and either slow down the losses or flatten them out, or even pull ourselves up out of that? Okay, so first evaluate, then stabilize. And the stabilization effort is something that you should put a significant amount of effort in. There's going to be situations, depending on what kind of business you're in and depending on what you're doing right now, where you're going to be like, man, let's just forget about it. And that would be a mistake. What you need to do is you need to stabilize things for you, for the people that work for you, and for your customers, and for the economy as a whole. The more that you can focus on stabilizing your specific situation, the better off we're all going to be as a result of that. Now, after the evaluation process, you might find that, you know what, we're relatively stable for now. You're going to keep wanting to reevaluate, like I said, but we're relatively stable for now. Now let's look at how we can add more value. What else can we do? Is there a new offer that we can make? Is there something, that's not even a paid offer, but it generates goodwill and builds relationship, right? Be looking for those opportunities right now, because they're abundant and they're out there. And so now I want to move to the third thing, which I think is the, kind of the hidden gem in this entire situation. After we've done our job of evaluating, after we've stabilized our situation, then we want to move to disrupt. Okay. And this is so critical. You may not know this, but there were many, many companies that were founded out of the financial turmoil of 2008 and that whole time frame that became major disruptors. Uber, Airbnb, companies like that sprung out of that problem. And the thing that is really unique in terms of being an entrepreneur in the situation that we find ourselves in is that entrepreneurs solve problems for a profit. Okay, and the reason why crisis represents opportunity is because crisis creates more problems. Okay, and if you're an entrepreneur and your role in society is to solve problems for a profit, and there's a crisis going on and there's more problems, that means there's more opportunities for a profit. Like that is the logical conclusion of what's happening. But most people miss this because they're too busy reacting, because they haven't properly evaluated their situation. They haven't stabilized things, so they're still going through turmoil. They're uncertain what to do, and they miss the opportunity for disruption. Okay? And the opportunity for disruption is enormous, because what's happening right now is we all have front row seats to seeing where all of the weaknesses in every single business are. Okay? One of my favorite quotes is from Warren Buffett, who said that you never know who's swimming naked until the tide goes out. Okay? Well, the tide is going out right now. And we are able to see, where are all the gaps in the marketplace? Where are the weaknesses? Where are things falling apart? All of those questions lead us to the place where we can see that there are big, massive problems waiting to be solved, right? Because people aren't going to want to deal with all of the problems that exist right now forever. Everybody wants to get back to comfort. Everybody wants to get back to certainty. And the only way to do that is to solve the problems that exist. Obviously, there's the problems with the virus itself. There's the problems with all of the medical system and everything with the overflow there. But we're seeing other problems elsewhere. And once you've evaluated your situation, you've stabilized yourself, if I were you, I would be looking to see, where are all the problems that are on display right now? And as an entrepreneur, your job is to solve those problems for a profit. So keep your eyes open and find those problems. It could be in an existing market where you are already. It could be in a neighboring market, or it could be something that you're seeing that doesn't have anything to do with your existing market, but you see a problem emerging. Now, the one word of caution I want to share with you guys is don't jump ship from your existing thing all into some new thing without making sure your first thing is stable, right? You need to build off of a place of strength. And as you're doing that, you can allocate a little bit more time and a little bit more time to whatever new thing that you're doing. Okay, one of the rules that I live by is the 80-20 rule. So 80% of my time, resources, energy, focus, all of that stuff is focused on what do we currently have right now. And I give myself 20% of my time at maximum to explore new opportunities, to explore disruption, to explore pivots, to explore things in neighboring markets, and so on. And I highly recommend that you guys follow a rule like that. Or if you don't want that distribution, create a distribution that works for you, but make sure that you're building off of a stable platform, whatever that is, before you go all in on a risk that could pay off big or it could not. You want to make sure you're standing on stable ground. So to reiterate, the framework that I want to share with you guys today is 1, evaluate. Make sure you understand exactly where you are, what's happening in your business, not just what's happening in the world, what's happening for you, your customers, your market, your ad costs, your profit, your cash flow, all of those things. 2, stabilize yourself. What do you need to do to get stable? And then 3, once you've passed through those 2 stages, look for the opportunities for disruption and solving new problems that are coming out of this situation that are like going to be everywhere. And the people who have properly evaluated their situation, stabilize themselves, are the ones who are going to be in the greatest position to capitalize on the disruption that is likely to follow as soon as all of this gets going. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking. #live if you've been here live. #replay if you're watching the replay. That's it for today. I'll catch you guys soon.